Good morning, everybody. Tracy Brown here. I hope you're doing well. It's a little past when I said I would start the live, but I'm not moving as quickly today, so I apologize about that. So today, again, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tracy Brown. I'm a somatic nutrition coach and therapist and dietitian, and I work with intuitive eating, full recovery from disordered eating, and body image. So today, we are going to talk about separating out it's real, the sensations we might have from emotion, from actual hunger. Now, it's tricky because all of us want to jump really quickly to figuring out the emotion and not having the emotion and not really dealing with the food part. So I'm just going to jump into the parts of this that are really, really relevant first. So if you've had any level of restriction, whether actual caloric, if you have a caloric debt, which means if you've been dieting or restricting for a long time, probably more than 6 months, I consider that a long time, but we're talking for some people months and decades, you have a debt. And your body is going to push you to get that debt met. So sometimes it's not always easy to tell, is this emotion that I want to eat? Or is this old, backed up physiological? And the answer is there's probably a mix of everything. And the first most important step is if you're not sure if you need to eat, it doesn't hurt to take a bite. It doesn't hurt to take a bite and like, whoa, okay, I ate that bite and I feel nothing. Maybe I could use a little more. And that's okay to keep trying. That's just like a starter, just to let you know that if you have a debt, you're going to feel the urge and pull to eat, and you might not actually feel the hunger, or is just kind of numbed out. So start with that place first. Now, if you're someone who's been eating regular for a while, you know sometimes when you've eaten regularly all day and you try to eat as much as you need to, let's say you have some food restrictions, but you're working on grieving some of that if you have to, and you're still trying to get enough fuel in. The second part is going to be a lot easier to discern. I'm not sure. Basically, there was a question last week of how do I separate out this just pull and this drive to eat when I think I might be anxious? How do I separate out true hunger from anxiousness? So if you don't already have my guide, I'm going to place that below because I do a chart about that. I have like a flow chart to help you try to figure that out. I'm hoping it will help you. A lot of times we can go about this all different kinds of ways. So one, remember that it's always okay to eat. This is not the worst thing in the world that could happen if you eat to soothe some emotion. We're human, we're going to do that. So we're not going to demonize it. I do understand, though, that we don't want to always have that as the go-to. We don't want to negatively impact our health because of it. Totally rational. That's fine. But we don't want to judge it. Sometimes we need to allow it. And there are many times there's a strong urge and pull to eat, and it's like, the more I fought it, the more miserable I became. So it's just like, just let yourself binge if you have to. The less that becomes like a big deal, the less it becomes something bad or you have to fight, then honestly, it can start to dissipate really quickly. And you get some more clarity about what was actually going on underneath that. So the third thing is that, okay, you've done some of that, you've tried that strategy, and it works some, but you still want to get to the bottom of like, what are my sensations though, Tracy? It's tricky because we do store so much of our somatic and sensory memory in our core. There's just so much innervation in our nervous system in this area because of all the organs and all the things that have to be fueled or that have to get like networked, from our body up to our brain. There's so much going on there that we're going to feel sensations of hunger at the same places we're going to be feeling somatic memory, or just in general feelings of fight or flight or freeze or whatever. So what we need to do is, if we can't feel those things, and you put our hand there where we feel it, and know that we can totally eat, but I would practice noticing, if you can, if that is somewhere else as well. Like, do you feel that sensation here as well as like below and even lower? And if you can notice that, you already have a clue that like, there's more than going on possibly than just hunger here. If you could be that grounded. So a step even before that is going to be, can I find my feet? I always like to people either stand up and find your feet on the ground. If sitting down makes you kind of too disorganized or too sleepy even, but stand up and do it. Or if you sit down, find your feet underneath you on the surface and find your seat. And if you're sitting in a chair, finger your back against the chair. Like I'm in this cushion thing right now, so I'm going to kind of feel into that and give it a little push and hold it and relax it. That just helps my body register that something's here. And the more you can do that, and you can do this, it can create a little bit of spaciousness, hopefully, in your core to tell more what's going on. You might have to practice that a couple times. You might need to stand up and do it. You might need to push against the wall and do it. But we have to practice, 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 learning how to separate. So once you've done some of that, check back in with your body, and then maybe intellectually you can get to the place where, when did I last eat? I think I last ate my lunch like an hour ago, and I don't remember feeling overly neutral, but I don't remember feeling super full. And so this is where that flow chart would be really helpful, to go back and like, okay, how many hours has it been? It's questionable that I'd be hungry right now. Can I wait just a little bit more, but also give myself, then ask the question, what am I hungering for? And find your feet. And you might find that all that's there is just a need for some settling or some comfort, or just to be paid attention to instead of like rushing or checking out with things that like don't need to be done that second, whatever. That's what I would suggest. If those are the starting steps to, if you're learning how to separate out anxiety or anxiousness or any kind of bodily sensation or sensory feeling, memory from food, hunger, fullness. Also remember, it's not the worst thing in the world if you eat something. It's not a big deal. Notice what that feedback gives you and then go on from there. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please share it with your friends who are working through some of the similar things that you are maybe. This video will also be uploaded to YouTube, so if you want a whole collection of things to go find and some other videos that are relatable to this topic, they'll be there for you as well. So thank you so much. Make sure you got your guide below. And I hope you're all doing really well and looking forward to talking to you soon. Take care. Bye.